So Luke is CEO of eviFile, and they've been working with clients such as Drax Power, United Utilities, and Mace. eviFile brings real-time field data live in flexible Power BI dashboards, ensuring optimal success across all major programs of work. Luke, over to you. I think your microphone's muted, Luke.
Can you hear me now okay?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. I'm just in the middle of getting the screen share, so hopefully you should have my slides any second.
Well, at least you didn't show your LinkedIn the way I did.
Let's have a look.
You're not sharing your screen now. There we go.
Oh, hold on. Love getting the technology right. There we go. Can you see my screen?
We see the PowerPoint interface, but not the slideshow.
Yeah, let's just go from the start.
There we go. You're set. That's it.
Awesome. So thank you for that introduction and to the other speakers. I'm going to try and take you through a little bit of a journey that eviFile's been on in the sense of our case study with SPL on the electrification of the Midland Mainline. And for those of you who don't know us, eviFile is a relatively new tool to the market. You know, you've mentioned that we're really focused on being able to deliver real-time field data into the cloud and to provide a very heavily configurable platform for any program of works. And it's really designed for everything from, you know, operatives in the field to planners, you know, right through to the handover of a project. And as we've been developing over these last couple of years, we've really started to put the data collection or progressive assurance at the very heart of what eviFile aims to deliver on every project through its remote working solution, you know, through its apps on the Apple Store and also on Android and the web version, which we're going to look at in depth today in the case of SPL. So just a little bit about the project. So the Midland Mainline, you know, one of the largest pieces of track in the UK, 397 miles of track, in fact. And the objective of this piece was to increase passenger capacity, but also by electrifying the track, obviously reducing the carbon footprint. It's a huge project, and was started off principally with the erection of the overhead line stanchions so that we could start to electrify the railway. And it was awarded to Carillion and SPL Powerlines as a joint venture. eviFile got involved in January 2019 after the unfortunate demise of Carillion, with SPL Powerlines halfway through the job. And eviFile's specific need was designed to bring digital progressive assurance into the construction process for the electrification piece. So we were left with quite a sticky situation to start with, in the sense that we had half of the project done, half of the project to complete, and escalating delivery timelines due to the flex of everything that had gone on with Carillion. So how did we tackle that particular problem with our platform? So to start with, we took an import of all of the assets and digitized the workflow. There's been a lot of speakers who've mentioned that whole process today about, you know, how do we get good data in? So through our mobile app, you can see there, we imported all of the assets that needed to be created and all of the activities that needed to go with those assets, including all of the tasks, quality control sheets, inspection test plans. We also created a process on the app and on the web browser to pick up and progressively assure any issues that were encountered through that process. So rather than creating a huge raft of rework at the end of the process, errors were picked up as they were being identified and were factored back into the schedule, collected, recorded and fed back into the reporting so that they could be tackled to keep the program on track. Everything else then on top of the OLE started to become an opportunity for us. So things like health and safety documentation. And one of the key elements of eviFile is the fact that we can collect data and forms of any type or source. So the web platform itself gave Powerlines the capability to create all the information they needed to capture live in the field. And behind the scenes, eviFile creates network rail standard documentation automatically for each of the structures being built. So the actual handover process and the form creation and data collation is done on the fly. So with it being a flexible control panel driven tool with outputs already, if you like, client ready, created a great advantage in actually keeping to that timeline. It gave great visibility to Network Rail, who also had access to the eviFile platform. We could tick all the boxes in terms of health and safety, drive savings by reducing rework, and obviously make that handover succinct. But we started to learn on this project as we went, in the sense of we took an audit or an asset database up front, which was an Excel file. But as we started to develop with SPL, we also started to develop direct imports from things like Power Project and Oracle Primavera P6. So when we start to look at where the glimpse of the future for eviFile is, it was very much developed out alongside this project, and I'll come on to that a little later. And of course, it's been mentioned many times before, but the power of Power BI behind the scenes to really bring the data to life in real time from the field, so that you can be making decisions about resource and ensuring that the project is on track and delivering, and that if there are issues, they can be tackled and managed in the right way. So this is an example of what we built. You can see the map. You go up the Midland Mainline. There is a high-level view of where all of the assets are to be built. And you can see in one view, color-coded, the status. So if it's yellow, there's an issue. If it's green, it's been done. If it's blue, it's in progress. And we can also see all of the activity and workflow mapped out to the left. So you can see where any of the assets are in the process of the foundations going in through to being ready for the electrification lines to be run. And on top of that, we have a workflow. So here you can see we have work that's in, work can be allocated, completed, and then approved. And above that, there's a filters option. So you can look at construction units or asset types, or even individual users and what they're actually working on. So the eviFile web platform works perfectly in harmony with the mobile platform, which again enables you to complete all of the information around quality check sheets, digital progressive assurance, but also we're able to gain sign-off and also pass information down to the operative. So in this new COVID world, the remote working angle of eviFile has become a really big element that enables us to deliver these projects while, you know, offering a remote solution that is working in real time with the web platform. The workflow is also applied to the tablet so that we can allocate work to the right people, make sure they're the right distance apart. We can collect site diaries. We can also collect issues, QA referrals, requests for more information. All of that is built into the app and is also available in real time through the Power BI interface. And so the real-time reporting angle was a really big, a really big deal in terms of making sure that time lost in terms of the issues with SPL moving away from Carillion and operating this on their own as a provider, in terms of being able to get all of the assurance information in real time and produce reports about percent complete, again by construction unit and any custom filters that need to be developed. And we can also start to forward plan where we're going to put our resources to make sure that we're optimizing delivery and making sure that we're completing everything in line with the plans laid out with Network Rail. We also have a similar report for quality referrals. So where there are issues that we know that need to be picked up, we can, in the same vein, view those in real time and make active decisions about where do we deploy our resource and how we make best use of the people at our disposal to ensure an on-time delivery, but more importantly, a quality delivery. We don't just want it to be on time, we want it to be right. And we want all the information that we need to show the owner of the asset that we've done the job correctly. And all of that's collected through the tablet and the web version and available in real time at any point, even to the users at Network Rail. So, what did we learn from doing this? So the real-time capture of the assurance data provided, a live view and a much better process for decision making, just by having that real-time view. And it also enabled them to learn as the project moved forward, not repeating the same mistakes. We removed any reliance on spreadsheets. It was a completely digital delivery once we joined the project, all from that central cloud source. Custom dashboards and tracking also enabled us to create, PDF board reports, Excel exports for people that needed them, email content sent direct to your inbox. But we also provide a complete golden thread of information. So the quality check sheets, quality referrals. We know who did what and when, who took the photograph, what asset they worked on. And all of that information is absolutely critical to be managed efficiently when it comes to handover. And beyond that, we have a full storage of not just one project, but all projects. And the real benefit here is, how do we actually learn from those projects? How do we make sure that the team doing the next electrification project doesn't repeat the same problems of the previous? So by enabling that access and being able to track projects over time, all fully searchable within the cloud, provided a really powerful lesson to ensure that everything that was done that was good and everything that was done that was less good could be corrected and improved upon moving forward. I'm not going to read out the whole quote in terms of the benefits to SPL, but the ability to mop up outstanding work while delivering the main program was a massive benefit and a huge efficiency and cost and time saver. All of the entry into service documentation was delivered on time and digitally. There was no paper. There was no time-consuming delivery of clerical reporting. It was all done through Power BI, custom Power BI reports being created on the fly where needed to make sure that everything was kept in line with the original plan. And a real focus on digitization of the process and management of that in a way that could become, if you like, a framework for how these projects are done moving forward. But what did we learn and what was our vision as eviFile? Because we really, if you look at this schematic, and this is how eviFile looks at digital assurance now, we were very much focused in this area of construction. And we came in late in the day. We came in halfway through the project, which was a real challenge because we had half a project on paper and in SharePoint and the other half in eviFile. So we had a job to do to bring those worlds together. But actually, as we worked closer with SPL and other clients, we really realized that progressive assurance starts at design. You can actually start to feed BIM model, BIM asset, and design information into eviFile at the design stage to prove the designs and to make sure that design information makes it to the man with the shovel when it comes to construction. We have a mantra of never asking for the same piece of information twice. The golden thread is critical because it starts in design right through to handover. And if we can populate a tool with that design information, then we're providing a better end solution. And if the information is already known, then it cuts out time for people asking for it in further stages. eviFile is, as we've mentioned, directly linked with Primavera P6, and we're working with Aster Power projects so that we can actually drive not just asset databases, but schedules directly into eviFile. So we can look at, what happens with our models when we do the next 2 weeks worth of activities and actually show you, through a 4D run through our partner's 3D repo of the impact of the work over the next 2, 4, 8 weeks. We can factor and throw back into the schedule the cost of poor quality and time management, and the scheduler can react to that, and that can be managed through one platform or one interconnected platform from P6 to eviFile to 3D repo. And again, those real-time updates, are critical to being able to do that. We've talked a lot about what eviFile does in construction, real-time reporting for that golden thread, configurable to any discipline and available on any device. And, you know, again, we can track projects, we can run projects from one to the next, and we can carry those learnings through. We can directly export all of our assets instantly, as we talked about, to Network Rail, straight into their project-wide system, and many other common CDE platforms. Again, keeping everything digital from design through scheduling, through construction, right through to the handover process. We can design the data structures to suit the client or the regulator to make sure that the information we're collecting is ready and there's no intervention needed. And again, the cloud gives us all the power in the world that we need to store as many projects and have as many users as we need to give, you know, the best possible delivery and the best possible knowledge transfer from one project to the next. And I believe that's pretty much bang on 15 minutes. If there are any questions,
done well.
Please feel free to ask.
Any questions? You can ask them in the Q&A section and we can open the mic. Luke, that was great. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you approaching me so late in the day to be added to the agenda. I'm sorry you missed the promotional video and such, but we had a good audience for you. And, you know, looking down the list of the attendees that are here with us now, you've got some really important names in the business. So I'm just going to wrap up now. And I think that the presenters have done a wonderful job today. It's been 6 excellent presentations. They're not too good at keeping to time, but you know, they were engaging. And just to go back to the point that I started with, those of us that are at the intersection of technology, construction, and project management, we are enjoying boom times because we face a climate where people believe that we can build our way out of this mess that we're in with the recession and the pandemic. And if you look at history, if you look what happened in the US in the 30s, that was the time when Miami got built, the Tennessee Valley Authority, all of the national parks. It's common in times of economic recession for there to be investments in infrastructure. So we should be grateful that we are in boom times when so much of the rest of the economy is hurting. And you know, with that comes a responsibility for all of us to take very seriously the work that we do. So I want to thank you for your support of Glimpse of the Future. Please follow us on LinkedIn. Would love to have any feedback from you as to how the format could be improved. I am absolutely on the lookout for great customer case stories. If you know of a technology that has made a difference to a client, of a team that put everything on the line to meet somebody's requirements and really help them, and you think that this would be a good format, please do let me know. I'm always on the hunt for killer applications that have real clients. So with that, I will draw the 9th Glimpse of the Future event to a close. Thank you all for sticking with us, and we will see you on September 10th. Bye.